Who wants Steak and Shake?
Ooh, did you say steak?
Steak burgers.
Ooh, steak burgers.
And how about a shake?
Ooh, I like shakes too.
With real ice cream?
You mean with like real cream?
Of course.
Ooh, real milkshakes.
And with the weather cooling down, you're going to want to grab yourself a bowl of chili too.
So can I get a steak burger, a real milkshake, and chili?
Of course. Steak and Shake, located in Ashland behind Cinema 10 and 3409 U.S. Route 60 East in Barbersville.
Pop quiz. Which of these Black Friday offers do you think you can get this weekend at Big Sandy Superstore? A, $500 off purple closeout mattresses with a free power base upgrade. B, an extra 10 to 20% off furniture and mattresses. C, a Samsung
2015 with a great selection of trendy and affordable women's clothing in sizes small to 3X, as well as jewelry and gifts. Bella Boutique has returned to downtown Ashland in the Cameo Arcade with holiday hours Tuesday through Saturday from 11 to 6. Phone 606-393-1011. Check out Bella Boutique's Facebook page and on Instagram at Bella Boutique KY, Winchester Avenue, downtown Ashland.
You don't want to miss the big Black Friday sale at Porter Firearms, 9105 Ohio River Road in Wheelersburg. For one day only, Friday, November 25th, you'll find incredible deals store-wide. Huge savings on handguns, shotguns, rifles, ammunition, and other accessories, all at low, low prices. This is the biggest sale of the year, just in time for Christmas gift buying. The big Black Friday sale, one day only, Friday, November 25th at Porter Firearms, 9105 Ohio River Road in Wheelersburg. Check them out on Facebook. Budweiser, the king of beers. The weather is brought to you by Clark's Pump and Shops of the Tri-State. For low prices on snacks, soft drinks, and quality Marathon gasoline, visit the Clark's Pump and Shop nearest you. Clark's Pump and Shops of the Tri-State. Return, refresh, refuel.
Kool Hits weather.
We'll see sunshine today, a high near 40. Tonight, a few clouds from time to time, a low near 20. Mainly sunny once again on Sunday, a high of 34. Sunday night, clear, low of 21. And on Monday, look for mostly sunny skies, a high near 50.
Kool Hits 105.7.
Well, it's time for me to fade back into history.
Live from the 60s.
I'm the real Don Steele, and remember, the love you take is equal to the love you make. I'll be back next week, same time, same station, and most of all, same decade.
Live from the 60s.
This program was created and produced by M.G. Kelly. Executive producer, Sean Steele. Associate producer, Michael Schoenfeld. Co-producer, Krista Anderson. Live from the 60s with The Real Don Steele is an M.G. Kelly production. All rights reserved.
The Kool Hits 105.7 studios are sponsored by Southern Ohio Medical Center. Cancer can be very scary, and cancer care can be complicated, but the SOMC Cancer Center takes you from what appears to be a maze to amazing care. SOMC, very good things are happening here.
Kool Hits 105.7 WLGC FM. Green Up, Ashland.
Portions of this program may have been pre-recorded.
Kool Hits 105.7 and the Kool Hits Sports Network now presents Let's Talk Sports. Get ready as we talk with players and coaches, take a look at the top stories in sports, and take a look at all the scores from the night before. It's Let's Talk Sports, brought to you by Kentucky Farmers Bank, Clark's Pump and Shops of the Tri-State, Stoltz Pharmacy, River Cities Builders, and Wagner Rental and Supply. Now, let's talk sports with your host, James Collier.
And welcome into Let's Talk Sports on the Kool Hits Sports Network. James Collier, happy to have you along with us this morning. Full house in studio this morning as we'll start first with Ashland. Raceland will follow as both teams advance into the state semifinals with wins last night. Ashland goes on the road to Log Mountain and comes home with a 34-16 victory over Bell County. They'll play Christian Academy Louisville this Friday night on Black Friday. Raceland had to overcome a fourth quarter deficit for only the second time this season, and they find a way to win it 17-14 over Hazard. They've got Holy Cross coming in Friday night over at Ram Stadium. We'll talk about the games last night, previewing the matchups coming up, all of that. Plus, we've got top 25 college football action, and of course the Border Sporting Goods rant of the week a little bit later on in the show. Let's take our first break. When we come back, we've got Coach Chad Tackett and the Ashland Tomcats in studio. We'll talk about their big win last night over Bell County. That's as we continue here on Let's Talk Sports on the Kool Hits Sports Network.
In addition to the Greenup location, Stelz Pharmacy's newest location is at 437 James Hanna Drive in South Shore, but has retained the name you know and love, McDonald Pharmacy, with the same great service you'll find in the Greenup location, with free delivery service and their convenient drive-thru. Get your vaccinations and allergy shots, and of course, great prescription service at Stelz Pharmacy in Greenup and McDonald Pharmacy, James Hanna Drive, South Shore.
Stelz Pharmacy.
Does your gas station or convenience store need a facelift? If so, call River City Builders at 473-4112 for your remedy. Big or small projects, River City's Builders is a company for all your needs. We have extensive experience in the petroleum industry, from routine gas dispenser and canopy maintenance to above-ground, underground tank and piping work to full-blown remodels and new builds. Call River City Builders at 473-4112 for all your petroleum needs. We'll cover your back and keep your customers pumping gas.
Hello, I'm Michael Bowling, Senior Vice President of Kentucky Farmers Bank. When you do business with Kentucky Farmers Bank, you're making an investment in your community. Your money stays local, we never sell your loan, and in turn, we invest in local families, churches, schools, and charities. We believe in our community, and that's why we are the better bank for loans.
Kentucky Farmers Bank, the better bank for loans since 1931. Located in Ashland, Summit, and Catlettsburg. KentuckyFarmersBank.com, member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
Clark's Pump and Shop now has Arco, a new brand of gasoline. Look for Arco gasoline and our brand new state-of-the-art pumps at several of our tri-state locations. Clark's Pump and Shop still offers the same clean stores and the same fast, friendly service you've always received. You may have noticed a new facelift at some of Clark's Pump and Shop locations, and we invite you to stop in and see for yourself. To learn more, visit us online at myclarkspns.com. Clark's Pump and Shop, where you can return, refresh, and refuel.
Kool Hits, the greatest songs, 105.7.
Back on Let's Talk Sports on the Kool Hits Sports Network. James Collier, happy to have you along with us this morning. We've got Ashland football in studio. Coach Chad Tackett and the gang is in. Coach, good morning. How are you?
Good morning. How are you?
Doing well. What a nice win last night. You go on the road in a difficult environment, Log Mountain, a heck of a bus trip one way, let alone to have to make it on the same night back home. But I asked you when you walked through the door, I said, what time did you get home? It was about 3:30 last night.
Yeah, it was a long trip. You know, we spent about 7 hours on a school bus yesterday, so that was an experience, but it was worth going down there and getting the win.
You look at where you guys started and where you are now. 2-4 to start the season. You get the win over E-Town. They're on that Saturday afternoon, late evening game, if you will, and you guys haven't lost since. What has been the pulse of the team since that game against E-Town, and where you guys have really continued to build on that week after week?
Well, it's been a process of maturity and gaining experience for a lot of our guys. You know, we went into the Hazard game, for example. We had 9 guys on offense starting that hadn't played in a varsity football game. So, just the combination of that and the guys continuing to work hard, that's kind of a couple of things that we stress is just working hard and being physical and tough. And the guys just kept coming back to work every day and working at fundamentals and their techniques and just getting a little bit better each day. And it's one of our core values. And, they just embraced it and been able to do that. And I think that's made a big difference.
I saw you guys week 1 when you played Raceland. I had you guys against E-Town. And just watching the progression I saw from the team from those points to there. But take it all the way back. Week 1 against Raceland, 2 last night against Bell County. What's been the biggest thing that you've seen different before your team?
Just experience, maturity and experience. We started a lot of young guys. We only start 2 seniors on offense now. And, I think we start 4 or 5 on defense. And just trying to get games under our belt. That's helped tremendously, trying to get the Friday night experience. It's hard to duplicate that. Even if you play a lot of JV ball or freshman ball, it's hard to duplicate that speed and the atmosphere of a Friday night football game. And, our guys were getting their feet wet early on and had some struggles and bumps. And they've just, again, embraced the process of hard work and have come to work with a great attitude every day. No matter if we lost or won on Friday night, they came in on Monday ready to go to work. And that's been the biggest key, is just their effort and their attitude to what we're trying to do. And that's made the biggest difference in the world.
You bring in a sophomore quarterback in LeBryant Strader, and you kind of, on-the-job training, if you will. But What do you like about what you've seen from him, about how he approaches the game each and every week?
Well, he's, first and foremost, he's a competitor. He's a student of the game. He's going to compete no matter, if you're playing checkers or football or whatever. He's just a competitor, and, he's gotten better each week with his decision making. And, he's really embraced being QB1. Our guys look up to him on the team, and he's got command of the huddle on the offensive side of the ball. And, he's become what we thought he could be. He's become the leader and the player that we envisioned him to become early on in the preseason. So, he's embraced his role, and he's definitely one of those guys that you want to have on your sideline every Friday night.
Having a bodied quarterback like him, he's not easy to bring down because of his physical size and stature. But being able to use him not only in the passing game, but forcing teams to have to represent his ability to run the football, how much difference does that force the defense to the way they have to approach you guys?
I think it makes a big difference, especially with us trying to throw the ball as much as we want to. People have they have to think twice about dropping 8 guys back into coverage because he can tuck the ball and run, and he's been able to pick up some critical first downs for us throughout some of these games just by using his feet and running and tucking the ball. And, I think he's close to 600 yards rushing now in the season, and, it's just an added dimension to his game. It doesn't matter to me, if he's 5'10" or 6'4" or 200 pounds or 150 pounds. It doesn't matter. It's about what can you do on Friday night and what can you produce. And, he's definitely been producing for us and been a player and a student of the game.
Let's talk about your win last night over Bell. Going into the game, you knew you were going up against one of the most prolific running backs in the entire state. And you guys, again, you stymied them to take them out of what they like to do. What was the approach going in of this is what you said to the team has to happen for you guys to get out of there with a victory?
Yeah, it goes back probably to last week, against Belfry, just being physical and tough against teams that like to run the ball straight downhill and, come right at you. And, Daniel Thomas is the running back you're referring to. He was the state leading rusher and, just a really good high school running back. And our guys really dialed in and bought into what we're trying to do game plan wise and have been able to get some critical stops on certain plays. And, it's just it's a testament to how we've grown up defensively. I think after the West Jessamine game, even though we won that game, we kind of had a come to Jesus meeting with the guys, and they'll tell you I wasn't really happy that Monday despite a win, and we just got back to basics and fundamentals, and they've bought into how defense is supposed to be played, and that's been a big key.
Well, let's bring in some of those guys. So let's slide the microphones around to them. And we've got 3 members of the Tomcats in the house this morning. So, gentlemen, I'll start first and give you an opportunity to introduce yourself, and then we'll talk from there. So I'll start right here. Go ahead.
Hi, I'm Sawyer Edens.
Isaiah Ingram.
Landon Holmes.
Guys, first off, nice win. Landon, since you got the microphone there, I'll start with you. Tell me about that big win last night. How big up was that, especially with the way you guys started the season?
Yeah, no, it definitely felt nice. We've really just bought into playing as a team. I think that was one of our big turnarounds is playing together and playing for one goal. Yeah.
Isaiah, for you, having a 2-4 start, and then now you're playing in the state semifinals Friday night. How big is that?
It's crazy. It's something that we look at the beginning of the season and it's looking a little rough. But like Coach said, we put in time, effort, work harder, and we just kept coming back every Monday, ready to work and just do what we had to do.
So you're going back to that E-Town to win. Well, that was what started this winning streak that takes you into the semifinals on Friday night. What's the one thing that you guys saw after that win there against E-Town that pushed you forward?
After the E-Town win, we really saw our potential on us playing together as one whole unit versus us playing a defensive game and then an offensive game. We saw us together as one team and how we could really just dominate teams.
Landon, go back to week 1 against Raceland and put yourself where you are right now playing against Cal Friday night for a state semifinal and a berth to the state championship. What's been the biggest thing all across the board that you have seen, the biggest change for this team?
Just passion, really. Like we're all working hard. Like I said, we all bought into it. At first, I feel like we weren't really playing for each other, and now we've learned to play with each other and love each other and play for more than just ourselves on the field.
Isaiah, 2-4 Was there any panic around the team, especially a rookie head coach and Coach Tackett, a guy that you're familiar with because he's been around the program, but just trying to figure out what was the right way to go with this team?
A little bit, but I mean, you got Coach T there. I had faith in him all the way through. It was a little shaky at the start, but always had faith. And I knew that we could turn it around as long as we just kept doing what we had to do.
Sawyer, what was that the trust factor of Coach Tackett taking over now as the head coach? You guys are familiar with him, but understanding what he wanted to be the kind of the goal of moving forward for this team. When was it that you saw that buy-in factor to where everybody got on board with what he was wanting?
I really saw the buy-in factor after the East Carter game at the start of districts. Everybody played that game for each other. It was just Terrell scored a touchdown. Everybody went out the field and helped Terrell, cheered up with him. Same thing with everyone. There was no selfishness I saw in any of the game. Everybody was there for each other, and they wanted to win as a collective group, not individuals.
Landon, going into that game last night, as we talked earlier, leading rusher in the state of Kentucky, what was the goal going into this football game? And when you guys got back on that school bus last night to head home, did you feel like that goal had been achieved?
Definitely. We always strive to take teams out of what they do best, and for them it's running the wishbone, running right down the middle. And I think we forced them to do something different.
Isaiah, what was when you see those options of a team that this is what they want to do and you guys make them not be able to do what they want to do, is that a fulfilling part of being a part of that team?
It's a great thing. It's a great thing to see whenever you're able to do your job right and stop a team from doing what they want to do, and they have to keep switching up, have to keep doing different things. It's just a great feeling. It makes you know you did your job right.
So when you see them come out of the wishbone and he has to go, the tailback goes into basically the wildcat. At that point, did you feel like, okay, we've really stymied them into doing something they didn't want to have to do tonight?
Yes, sir. That's the best feeling in the world, in my opinion. It's just when you play your keys and just your responsibilities, what you practiced all week, and you beat them at their own game. That's the best feeling when they have to change up and try throwing something completely different just to try getting yards.
Sawyer, you're playing in the state semifinals Friday night. How big is that? Is getting an opportunity one step away from heading to Kroger Field?
It's incredible. It's the best feeling in the world because it's so unimaginable. Nobody thought we would be there starting the season 2 and 4, and now look at us. We've been playing our game together as a family, and we're state semifinals. We got one more game to go to Kroger.
Isaiah, how big is that? One game away from Kroger Field after a 2 and 4 start.
It's something crazy to think about after a 2 and 4 start, and we're out getting ready to go out there and play for a state semifinal. I mean, it's something crazy.
Landon, how amazing would it be after that type of start of the year to take a trip to Kroger Field?
I mean, it'd be the greatest thing ever because, I mean, after that 2 and 4 start, I think everyone really gave up on us. They definitely didn't see us being here. I know we always had it in us. We always kept the bigger picture in our eyes, and now we're here.
Coach Tackett, let's bring you back in as you talk about that opportunity. Move that microphone, my friend. There we go. You get that opportunity to have a chance to play in a state semifinal and another trip to Kroger Field in 2 out of the last 3 years. As a program, how big would that be?
It's huge. It's huge for our kids. I'm excited for them. These 3 guys sitting next to me, they've all, had a chance to do that, and it's been a blessing watching their maturity and their growth through this season. And we talked to them a couple weeks ago about the magic formula. The magic formula to get to Kroger Field is just to love each other, and it sounds simple, and it really does, but it's the hardest thing to do to get a team to do. It's the hardest thing, and it's not a scheme issue. It's not X's and O's. To get to Kroger Field, you have to have a team that cares and loves about each other and is willing to sacrifice for each other. And that's the easiest thing you can do, to bottle it up and say, well, that's what it takes. But it's the hardest thing for teams to do, to buy into that. And it really goes back to our we not me philosophy on our team. And it's like I said, it sounds so simple, but it works, and that's what it takes. And to see these guys have that opportunity, and just very blessed to be their head coach.
you and I, we stood out on the practice field back in preseason, pouring rain. You were still trying to figure out guys' names and where they were even going to be. And now here you are, one step away from a trip to Kroger Field. What's for you? How fulfilling has it been this season to watch the progression of your players?
It's been super fulfilling. It's just it's hard work. That's all I know to do. It's all our staff knows to do, and our kids is just work hard. And we have a saying in our locker room. We're all we got. And like Landon said, everybody kind of gave up on us. Early on, and I kept telling them, just get the districts. We'll be okay. And our non-district schedule, I think, prepared us for this moment. We had a lot of big games and played a lot of good players that put us in this position, and they kept the faith. And the guys in that locker room, the guys on the coaching staff, kept the faith. And it goes back. We're all we got. And now we're sitting here, one game away from Kroger Field.
Well, you'll match up against Christian Academy Louisville, 13-0, the top team in Class 3A. What do you know, if you know very much about them thus far? What's the biggest thing that you face when you go against Cal?
Well, I've seen a few clips of them, and they're a spread team. They're really good on defense. I think their defense is probably underrated. As far as their offense kind of gets all the glory, but they're a spread team. They got a really good quarterback, and they throw the ball around. So we'll switch gears. We've been playing these ground and pound teams the last couple weeks, and we'll switch gears. And but when I go back to our non-district schedule, E-Town and West Jessamine and Hazard and Raceland, and those guys spread it out and throw the ball around a little bit. And so we're going to see Friday night what we've seen this so far in the season. And so we're not going to see anything different. We're not going to get surprised by what they do. We'll just have to, get a game plan together and hone in on exactly what they're doing, personnel-wise, and, just kind of get a feel for who they are as a team, and we'll come up with a game plan, and we'll execute it and see what happens.
Ashland head coach Chad Tackett, players Landon Himes, Sawyer Edens, and Isaiah Ingram. Gentlemen, congratulations on a nice win. Best of luck Friday night in the state semifinals, and thanks so much for joining us this morning.
All right, appreciate you.
Let's take a break. When we return, we'll switch around here in the studio. We got Raceland in the house. Coach Mike Salmons, Logan Lundy, and Mason Likens. A big win last night over the Hazard Bulldogs. We'll talk about it on the other side as we continue here in Let's Talk Sports on the Kool Hits Sports Network.
In addition to the Greenup location, Stelz Pharmacy's newest location is at 437 James Hanna Drive in South Shore, but has retained the name you know and love, McDonald Pharmacy, with the same great service you'll find in the Greenup location, with free delivery service and their convenient drive-thru. Get your vaccinations and allergy shots, and of course, great prescription service at Stelz Pharmacy in Greenup and McDonald Pharmacy, James Hanna Drive, South Shore.
Stoltz Pharmacy.
I'm April Perry, the CEO of Kentucky Farmers Bank. On average, our employees have been with Kentucky Farmers Bank for over 10 years, and that is important to you and us. We want you to know who you are dealing with. Whether you are financing a new home, buying a car, or remodeling your kitchen, Kentucky Farmers Bank is the better bank for all your needs.
Kentucky Farmers Bank, the better bank for all your financial needs since 1931. Located in Ashland, Summit, and Catlettsburg. KentuckyFarmersBank.com. Member FDIC and equal housing lender.
Does your gas station or convenience store need a facelift? If so, call River City Builders at 473-4112 for your remedy. Big or small projects, River City's Builders is a company for all your needs. We have extensive experience in the petroleum industry, from routine gas dispenser and canopy maintenance to above-ground, underground tank and piping work to full-blown remodels and new builds. Call River City Builders at 473-4112 for all your petroleum needs. We'll cover your back and keep your customers pumping gas.
Tune in Monday night for the annual 16th Region Basketball Preview Show. Yes, this Monday night on Kool Hits 105.7 and Kool TV, you can watch and listen to area coaches and sportscasters and writers talk about the upcoming high school basketball season. It's the annual 16th Region High School Basketball Preview Show, Monday, November 21st, 6 p.m. on Kool Hits 105.7 and Kool TV. The weather is brought to you by Clark's Pump and Shops of the Tri-State. For low prices on snacks, soft drinks, and quality Marathon gasoline, visit the Clark's Pump and Shop nearest you. Clark's Pump and Shops of the Tri-State. Return, refresh, refuel.
Kool Hits weather.
We'll see sunshine today, a high near 40. Tonight, a few clouds from time to time, a low near 20. Mainly sunny once again on Sunday, a high of 34. Sunday night, clear, low of 21. And on Monday, look for mostly sunny skies, a high near 50.
Kool Hits. Hits 105.7.
Back on Let's Talk Sports on the Kool Hits Sports Network. James Collier in studio. Happy to have you along with us here this morning. Just finished up with Ashland. A big win for them last night over Bell County. They'll play in the state semifinals Friday night. They'll travel to Christian Academy Louisville. Games, again, most games will still play at 7:30, even though everybody's out for Thanksgiving this week. But best of luck to Coach Chad Tackett and his crew as they head down the way to play Cal next week in the state semifinals. Well, speaking of state semifinals, we'll have one of those games right here locally as Raceland, with a win last night over Hazard 17-14, punches their ticket into the semifinals. They'll play host the second time that they've played here recently. The last time was back in 17 when they went to the state championship, and they've got another opportunity. This will be the third time they've played a state semifinal game under head coach Mike Salmons, and I've got Raceland in the house this morning, Mike Salmons and players Mason Likens and Logan Lundy. Gentlemen, good morning.
Good morning, James.
Coach, a nice win last night, and it was one of those games that you had to find a way to do something that you haven't done all season. You trailed in the fourth quarter, and you came away with a victory. You go into the locker room down 10-0, getting the football coming out of the halftime, and they kind of caught you off guard a little bit with an onside kick that they took care of, and they cashed it in with points on the other side and changed kind of the complexion of the whole ball game.
Yeah, we had a little uncharacteristic last night at times with some of our, penalties and turning the ball over a little bit. Going up 10-0 at half, we felt like coming out in the third quarter we could really be assertive and kind of take control of the game, almost make it like 3 possessions, hopefully, and really exert our will on them. And, we had talked about onside kicks all week. These guys will tell you we practice that stuff all the time, and just didn't make plays, and that's part of it. But, again, it's 48 minutes, it's a long game, and our guys were able to step up and make plays when we needed to, and we feel fortunate to advance and try it again in, 6 days now.
You look at the way that game played out. You had a long sustained drive there in the first quarter, 14 plays, 63 yards, over 7 minutes of possession. You had to go for a field goal, but you got points on the back end of that. And those points are points that some maybe forget about in the grand scheme of things, but a 3-point win, those turned out to be some of the biggest points in the entire contest.
Yeah, we was kind of torn there early on in the first drive, had such momentum after we got the 3 and out and got the ball back. He kicked around, maybe trying to go for it a little bit. Just wasn't sure. Felt like maybe get something for our work on that drive, and kind of dent the scoreboard first. And our kicking game's been, particularly our extra point field goal game. Peyton's done a really, really nice job, and really worked at his craft and been a big weapon for us, real asset. And so we felt confident from where we were on the field we can convert that. And so, as it turned out, it was a big play.
Your first series, Hazard has the football. They wanted the football, and 3 plays, -1 yard, and a punt. What did you like about the way that the defense kind of set the tone there in the beginning of the contest?
Well, again, I think it's a game of momentum, a game of runs, and I think even in the first half, sometimes we, you have these peaks and valleys, but by and large, we had the momentum going into halftime, and it started from the first possession. Had a pretty decent opening kickoff, and then from there we were able to get the 3 and out. And I think from there we really set the tone, at least defensively, being able to take away their run game. They did stick with the run game maybe a little longer than what we had anticipated, but again, just no running room for them last night. Their feature back had less than 2 yards of carry. So I think that was evident from the start. And then, they did try to throw it around 20-plus times. But, just really focused from the beginning and really all night. Just gave up a couple of short fields and, again, some untimely, uncharacteristic stuff we do there with a couple penalties that kind of made the game maybe a little harder for us than it needed to be.
You talk about how they went away from the running attack. It was something to where they kind of conceded the fact of, okay, we cannot run the football against this defense. We're going to have to go to the air raid. And when they went to the air raid, there were times that they were able to get some of their playmakers in space and make some explosives. They threw for 145 last night. 81 of those came on 2 balls.
Yeah, I know. I think they had 14 completions. I was looking at your stats there. 10 yards of completion, not necessarily detrimental to the grand scheme of trying to, be on the right side of the scoreboard when the game's over. But like you said, over 2 of those had a post route late on actually the last drive of the game, and then in the third quarter they lost a guy across the middle of the field, and where we had him backed up in our territory, and they got like a 40-yard gain, and then tack on 2 penalties post play, and those are things that we haven't really done all year. Kind of maybe not being in a competitive game in a few weeks, maybe we needed to get that experience. Our guys just kept fighting last night and battling, and they did throw the ball 20-plus times. You throw it that many times, sometimes bad things are going to happen, and, we did get one pick off the situation as well.
Yeah, the big pick, the 22nd of the season, that's tied for tops in the state coming into the game last night. The ball, it was pretty clear what they were doing. They wanted their big guy in space. It was the wide side of the field. It was immediate back shoulder fade. Jules Farrell played it perfectly, a tip ball. Noah Wallace runs underneath it, and a big interception there to take away points.
Yeah, just huge. I mean, both of their turnovers came down in the orange zone, as we call it, inside the 25-yard line. They had a fumble, too, looked like maybe a miscommunication there when the time clock was running short on them. But, yeah, Jules was in good coverage there. We were in good coverage later in the game when he hit the 40-yard bomb. We just couldn't quite get up to the peak of the ball where he was, and then we weren't able to get through his hands on the way to the ground. But, Jules was right there in great position. I was able to get a tip on the ball. And, again, one of our strengths is our guys running the ball. And when you run the ball, good things happen. That's what happens on turnovers. That's how you get turnovers. And credit to Noah for running the ball and had a big return there.
We talked yesterday in pregame about the use and versatility of Noah Wallace, and you said make no bones about it. He's going to be a feature of both the defense and the offense. But last night we saw that assertiveness that he brought to the table this year, especially there in the fourth quarter when you guys needed some punishing runs and some body blows, as you like to call them. Mm-hmm. He kind of really stuck his foot in the turf and said, "I'm going downhill."
Yeah, I mean, I think Noah led us in carries last night, had 15-plus carries. We would like to have maybe even given it to him more. We just didn't have – we lost a couple possessions. Only snapped the ball, I think, in the mid-40s. That's probably maybe even a season low. I'd have to double-check. But
now 36 last week against Nicholas County.
Okay.
Or Paris, against Paris.
So, non-competitive game. Running clock type game. In a competitive game, by far the lowest number of snaps we've had. So, we just want to be physical line of scrimmage. Only threw it 6 times. Ideally we'd have thrown it, somewhere around 15. But again, with our snaps being down and just being so physical in the run game, and Noel got in behind his pads, was real physical, running the ball downhill. Had some other guys in there mixing it up. Had some guys. I think the thing gets lost is guys blocking for each other, and then at the end of the day, the most physical team on the line of scrimmage is the team that's going to be successful. And so I thought last night defensively line speaking, we're able to stop the run, and our offensive line was able to assert themselves and was able to run the ball. And so I think we outrushed them something like 220 to 50. Most Friday nights, almost every Friday night, you do that, you value the ball, you're going to be successful. And I think that's what showed last night after 48 minutes.
You talk about playing behind that line on the offensive side. The touchdown that you guys get on the scoreboard with that Logan gets in, he followed his left side of the offensive line. That's Clay Coldiron and Chase Carell, and they gave him a crease that he was able to get to the outside edge and dive in. But up front all year long, you have had stability, consistency, and just one cohesive unit playing across that front five.
A lot of guys up there with a lot of game experience, and a lot of guys that have really a lot of vested for the name on the chest. And so, got a couple seniors up there, got a couple underclassmen up there playing, and guys have really bought into their roles. And I think you kind of see that on Friday nights. Those guys really battle, and some of those guys are big and strong, and they look like offensive linemen. A couple of those guys we got up there, they just got a really good motor, and so they're really confident in what they're doing. They really worked at their craft. They really got better at the technique and the fundamentals of what they're doing, working with Coach Francis on the offensive line. And again, that's been a strength for us from 2 years ago, where we were to where we are now. On the offensive line is 180 degrees, and at the end of the day, that's one of the reasons why you're still playing in the week of Thanksgiving.
Yeah, when you look at those guys across there, Drew Burke at center, and then on the right side, Reese Winters and Levi Riley, and you've got a collection of running backs that have been successful across the board. It's when you have that ability to run the football, not just because one kid has the athletic ability, but each one of the running backs has their own kind of scheme that they can offer. It's because of what that front five is giving them.
Yeah, those 5 guys up there really work together and develop some chemistry. Also, Evan Burrows rotates in there. We kind of play 6 offensive linemen. I think 3 seniors, 2 juniors, and Evan's a sophomore, so he's kind of getting his feet wet here as we go. And I'm sure Coach is a little hard on him, probably more so than what he likes, but that's all right. He's just a sophomore. But our backs are a nice mix. I think they really complement each other well. Again, the biggest thing I can say about our football team and our backs and our receivers and everybody we got, we are extremely unselfish, and our guys don't care who gets the ball, or who touches the ball, how the ball gets to where it's going from point A to point B, just as long as it gets done. And our backs are all a little bit different. Noah's a little bit more physical, a little bit more bruising. Maybe has some pretty good vision. Isaac's a little elusive, runs maybe a little better than what you think, a little stronger than what people think. Has the knack ability to find his way through creases. Jules has got electric feet. He can cut. He can cut on a dime, and he wasn't able to get loose last night. But Jules brings that dimension. Jackson's a little bit bigger. He's also playing inside linebacker, so it's kind of tough for him sometimes to get in there and get a ton of carries. A little bit bigger. Jackson's super athletic. You saw some runs, I think maybe it was last week. He's hurdling over guys and doing these type of things that I can assure you we don't practice. It's just things that are natural. So those guys all kind of mix it up, and then we use Logan in the run game too, big bruising quarterback, and he's got better at running the ball. So again, a lot of complimentary guys there. Sometimes we use our receivers in the run game too, and just a bunch of guys that really believe those offensive line. But make no mistake about it, that's where it starts at up front.
Well, last night you get a missed field goal by Hazard that would have tied the game at 17. Inside of 2 minutes to go, essentially you need one first down to ice it. They keep you at a 4th and inches. You had a couple of timeouts there that allowed you to get a couple of looks and see what Hazard was presenting defensively, and then you decide to snap it on 4th and 1. And you and I talked after the game last night, post game, and you said, if you can't move the ball a yard, you're not a very good football team. And that was kind of the philosophy you guys had in the huddle before you went out and gave the football to Logan.
You don't deserve to advance. That's number one. Number two, we trust our guys. We trust our guys on all aspects of the game. That's offense, defense, special teams. Our offensive line has been a strength for us. We want to get in behind those guys. And we had a couple timeouts there to get some looks and make sure we had exactly the right play call. We did change the play call there between last timeouts to get exactly what we wanted. And again, it's all about trust. We've been aggressive all year. We'll continue to be aggressive. That situation there, kind of no man's land. You're around your own 30. Their best player is going to be back there returning the punt if you punt. Our long snapper all year is out. A lot of things can happen on the snap. They have no timeout, so if something was to happen, you are unsuccessful. They have one, maybe two snaps at the most. One snap if the ball stays in bounds. Two snaps if it's incomplete or out of bounds. So, you got some things there that really didn't make it that hard a decision. It was more so about make sure we're in the right personnel group and we get the ball where we want to get the ball behind the right people, go in the right direction. And so that's what we were able to do. Just came up short on third down, and which would have been nice to take a knee. But again, our guys stepped up and made a play on fourth down.
All right, well, let's bring your players in, Mason Likens and Logan Lundy. We'll slide the microphones around to those guys. And saw this other microphone, Dwayne. Wake up. Golly, Ned. See, he's got one job to do every week, and he still cannot figure out a way to do what he has to do. Coach, I need you to go the other direction. You got them blocked off. You got a camera right behind you. Go straight back. Just go straight back. Coach was trying to pull off a Dwayne here. He was just completely blocking them off 100%. All right, now we've got him in here. Mason Likens, Logan Lundy. Guys, good morning.
Good morning.
Logan, pull that microphone up to you, my man.
Yes, sir.
Well, I talked with Coach after the game last night. I asked him, I said, how much did you turn into a used car salesman when you guys went to the sideline? Did you ask him for the football there when it was 4th and inches and a chance to ice this ball game away?
I was walking off the field, and I was kind of looking at him. I was doing this a little bit, but no, I didn't ask for it. Anybody could have did it, Noah, Isaac, Jules, Webb, whoever. So I felt confident with the offensive line.
With the, I guess I should say it like this, was there any disconcert or any question at all that you guys were going to snap the football there on 4th and inches?
Oh, no, we were ready to go. We felt confident, and like I said, we got behind our offensive line.
Having the ability there, most importantly, you had a couple of timeouts in your back pocket there in that spot. For you to have those timeouts, to be able to go up there, look and see what the defense was presenting, how much did that help you guys make certain that you were on the page where you wanted to be and got that exact call that you needed?
No, yeah, that was big because, they really loaded the box in that first, before we took the first timeout. Then we kind of put a tight end on the right, spread it out a little bit more, and we were going to hit a little bit wider, so I thought we had a lot better chance there. So it was definitely a good play call.
I said, Coach Joe Bryan, the head basketball coach at Raceland, he may be coming after you after showing your vertical leaps last night. Man, you got up.
I can get a rebound, but that's about it. I can't shoot.
Mason, last night you caught the big pass that set up the touchdown there by Noah. It was on a double move, and we've seen this several times. But what is it about you and Logan? You guys have that kind of that second sense to where you know where he wants you to go without him having to do any body language whatsoever.
I don't know. We've always just been together, so we know each other pretty well and know how we each other play and just go at it.
How much did it take you to kind of settle into the system there at Raceland? But it seems like you've kind of been the guy that has kind of gone to the front of the wide receiver room, and you and Logan, especially in the second half of the season, kind of on the same page.
I'd say in late August when I finally knew where they wanted me at on certain routes, and
you bought in.
Yeah, I bought into it and I figured it all out.
Is it weird being in a system to where there's so many passes that maybe travel 1-2 yards and it ends up being 40-50 yards on the back end of it?
It's kind of fun. I enjoy it.
Logan, for you, how fulfilling is it? You got to throw the ball maybe 6-7 yards, and that's throwing it to the sideline, and then you end up with 200, 300 yards.
Yeah, they make me look really good all around the
board. Let's talk about the game last night, Logan, and Mason. I'll come to you in just a second on this as well. First game you guys have trailed in the fourth quarter since Highlands. How much did you go back of what you guys learned in that game against Highlands that allowed you to figure out a way to win that game last night instead of losing it?
I think our guys just kept fighting, and that was big because, there was no doubt in our minds that we weren't going to win that game. So, like I said, our guys kept fighting, we kept going, and when you do that, your end result's going to be good.
Mason, for you, you were, by the way, the recipient of the Bowman's Auto and Collision Service big hit of the game last night. It was an out route right in front of your bench, and as soon as the receiver made the catch, you blew him up. Take me back through that play and how big of a momentum gain was that? Because that seemed like that's when the energy of the game kind of started flipping back to the racing sideline.
I think they were a little bit behind. I think it was 2nd and 13 or something.
Yeah, it was second and long there.
And it was a short pass, and really I just knew I couldn't overrun it, and I saw their best player, and I saw number 20 out there, so I figured something was happening. And I just saw it was a pass play, ran out to the flats, and saw him just made a big hit.
You guys, you've got the lead 17-14. They drive down, they get into a field goal position, and they miss it wide left. For you just kind of made the motion I was going to ask about. How much of a collective side did that allow you guys to have?
I think it was a big relief point, kind of. And we just knew we had to get one more first down to end it.
Logan, for you guys last night, the defense does what they've done all season long. They set the tone in the first series of the game. You guys use 14 plays, go down. You have to settle for 3, but did you still feel like that even though you didn't get the 6 there, it was still coming away with points was beneficial at that point of the game?
Yeah, I thought that was big because, we didn't come up empty-handed. And, maybe not the first drive, but like Coach says, the body blows are going to wear on them. So we kept going. And I felt good about getting 3 points off the bat, and I felt good about our defense backing us up. So I thought that was pretty good.
Having a guy like a Noah Wallace that's flanking you to the side, how much does it kind of take a little bit off of you if maybe the throws aren't where you want them to be, or you have a mistake on a fumble or interception? Having a guy like that standing beside you that he's going to touch the football and good things are about to happen.
I've said this 100 times. I think you're not going to find a better high school back than him, and he takes care of me. Whether it's run game, he's really athletic. He can catch passes. He just works hard, and he bails all of us out a lot. And he's a good friend. He's a good guy to have on the team.
You look at the way that you guys have run the football this year, and coaches called it a lot of times. It's a nameless player. They don't know who it is. It's just whoever happens to be on the field when they call that play. But you've got Jules Farrow, you've got Noah Wallace, Isaac Browning, Jackson Heighton, Connor Hughes has been in the mix there. You running it as well. What's the one thing as the quarterback that you watch when those guys touch the football? Because at any point in time it could be an explosive play on the other side of it.
Oh, yeah. I mean, like Coach said, we don't care who runs the ball at all. We just want team success, and we're always rooting for each other. I normally, about every other play, there's someone different beside me. So I'm just reading backside C-gap and watching them run.
Is it fun to watch the stretch play when you finally see that block on the edge to where they can cut downfield?
Well, I shouldn't really see that because I should be carrying out my fake, but I do enjoy seeing that.
Mason, for you, being on one of those guys on the edge, when you know that you seal that edge off to give them that running lane, you know that these guys, they don't need a lot of space, but when you give it to them, something good's happening.
Yeah, usually when I can stay on my block and make open like a hole, once I see them pass me, it's a great feeling.
Getting a chance to play in a state semifinal on the home field, how special is that Friday night?
I think it's going to be a great atmosphere. Our fans are amazing, and I feel good about it. I think they're going to pack the house.
Mason, for you, a state semifinal, what's that going to be like, my man?
Well, it's definitely going to be fun.
Yeah.
It's my first one, so excited for it.
Is turkey going to taste a little better this week?
Yeah, we'll be ready to go.
Without a doubt. Coach, let's slide you back in here, and let's talk about that game coming up this Friday night as Raceland will play host to Louisville Holy Cross. And going back to the grab this microphone right here, Dwayne. No, this one right here. See, I got a few things I need him to do, and he can't even orchestrate them all. It's okay. We love Dwayne either way. But I looking back at the record books in the KHSA, there shows no sign of Raceland and Holy Cross meeting up ever. Now, I may have to dial up the Hoofy record books to see if it's happened before then, but if it happened, it's happened a long time ago.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with it. I'm not exactly sure when their program came into existence. That Curtis Cry guy, he'd probably know off the top of his head. He's phenomenal. But, yeah, I mean, just opportunity to play. Obviously, it's our third time getting to host a state semifinal game in the last decade. That's special, too. Actually, last 9 years, I guess. But that's just who our next opponent is. We got to go out and get better and work on some things about us and get our game plan put together, and get a chance to play at home in front of our home crowd. This obviously will be our last home game. We didn't really know how that was going to work out when the season started. Even know how many home games we were going to have. I think our first home game actually was at a neutral site, right? And so we've been blessed to get these 4 home playoff games here, and so we'll have a little finality in the sense that it's our last game at Ram Stadium. And we'll try to survive and get 7 more days together.
Heck of a way to caress in the new turf, playing a state semifinal.
Yeah, I don't know if it's one of those things you pinch yourself and try to wake yourself up, but yeah, no doubt, just new stadium and a lot of positive momentum around our campus and our school system, and to be able to carry this thing to where we've carried it, and hopefully we can carry it to the very last day. It's been really special. A lot of people really invest in our program. A lot of people put a lot of time and effort into it. A lot of people dedicated this football program for a long, long time, going back to 1926. So obviously we feel honored and humbled to be able to play at home Friday night to earn a chance to make it the state championship game.
You look at what Holy Cross brings to the table. They've got a guy that slings it around. He's thrown it for about 1,500 yards this year, a 1,000-yard running back. They've got that's also their quarterback. Right. They've got another running back that's just shy of 1,000, and 3 guys in the passing game that likes to catch the football. Seems like a very similar opponent that you may know of. Oh, wait a minute, that's you.
Yeah, their quarterback is dynamic. I don't look ahead the film. That's just kind of who I am as a head coach. Some of the guys on our staff are assigned different duties, and they got some, looking ahead type of responsibilities. But their quarterback's dynamic. He's almost more dynamic with his feet than his arm, they tell me. Has thrown for 1,500 yards, but maybe he's at his best when the plays break down. So I'm sure we'll have to get a good game plan together to keep him in the pocket, make sure we can corral him and get him on the ground. Obviously, they're a run-first team. So, again, when you get in the playoffs, whoever can run the ball and value the ball, that's a team that'll advance. And so it'll be a new challenge for us this week, and we'll get in the film room and get prepared starting tomorrow.
Raceland head coach Mike Salmons and Mason Likens, Logan Lundy in studio. Gentlemen, congratulations on a big win last night. Black Friday state semifinal game. We'll have the call right here on the Kool Hits Sports Network and a big pregame show coming up. Stay tuned for that. We'll get you all caught up on that. Coach, thanks for coming in. We'll talk to you later this week.
I really appreciate it, James. Thank you.
Let's take a break. When we return, we'll check scores from around college football and the Border Sporting Goods Rant of the Week. That's as we continue here. Let's Talk Sports on the Kool Hits Sports Network.
In addition to the Greenup location, Stelz Pharmacy's newest location is at 437 James Hanna Drive in South Shore, but has retained the name you know and love, McDonald Pharmacy, with the same great service you'll find in the Greenup location, with free delivery service and their convenient drive-thru. Get your vaccinations and allergy shots, and of course, great prescription service at Stelz Pharmacy in Greenup and McDonald Pharmacy, James Hanna Drive, South Shore.
Adults Pharmacy. 437 James Hanna Drive in South Shore. 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 437
Does your gas station or convenience store need a facelift? If so, call River City Builders at 473-4112 for your remedy. Big or small projects, River City's Builders is a company for all your needs. We have extensive experience in the petroleum industry, from routine gas dispenser and canopy maintenance to above-ground, underground tank and piping work to full-blown remodels and new builds. Call River City Builders at 473-4112 for all your petroleum needs. We'll cover your back and keep your customers pumping gas.
Hello, I'm Michael Bowling, Senior Vice President of Kentucky Farmers Bank. When you do business with Kentucky Farmers Bank, you're making an investment in your community. Your money stays local, we never sell your loan, and in turn, we invest in local families, churches, schools, and charities. We believe in our community, and that's why we are the better bank for loans.
Kentucky Farmers Bank, the better bank for loans since 1931. Located in Ashland, Summit, and Catlettsburg. KentuckyFarmersBank.com, member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
Quality Marathon gasoline, great monthly specials on snacks and beverages, and fantastic service. Those are the qualities of Clark's Pump and Shops. You'll find a Clark's Pump and Shop near you in the Bluegrass State and beyond. And Rick and Brent Clark want you to know that they take pride in giving you the best prices and service, and they thank you for your patronage. Clark's Pump and Shops are a division of the John W. Clark Oil Company. Clark's Pump and Shops. Return. Refresh. Refuel. Lewis Family Care on Midland Trail in Ashland is board certified. Family medicine, primary care clinic, accepting new patients. If it's osteopathic, manipulative therapy you need, see Dr. Matthew T. Lewis, D.O. For other family medical needs, see Eilena Boggs, PRN. Call 606-928-7755 for the caring, professional, board certified medical practitioners at Lewis Family Care, your primary care clinic, 6572 Midland Trail Road, Ashland. That's 606-928-7755.
We're your home for Motown, soul, and great rock and roll. We're Kool Hits 105.7.
Thought I was going to have to take it over.
Whatever. One of these days, I'm going to get a producer for this thing that actually can do stuff. I'm in here running 3 cameras, production, talking, interviewing. I can't even get my stinking producer to move the microphones, for God's sake. I'm going to have to talk to Jim. We got a production meeting today, Dwayne. I'm telling you, a lot of it is about you, okay? There's a lot of stuff that's not going to work out too well for you after today. This may be the finale, for real. I don't know how many times over the 6 years I fired you. This may be the one that sticks. Let's quickly look at scores and the scoreboard coming up for top 25 action today. Early game down in Florida as Navy travels to number 20 UCF. It's Illinois at the Big House, number 3 Michigan, 10-0 are the Wolverines. That game at noon. Number 4 TCU's at Waco and Baylor. This is the cake week, if you will, for a lot of teams in the SEC. Number 8 Alabama, they got a tough contest today. It doesn't even have a line on it, by the way. They bring in Austin Peay. Yeah, good luck with that one. The Louisiana Ragin' Cajuns travel to number 19 Florida State. At 2 o'clock, number 15 Kansas State goes to West Virginia. At 2:15, it's number 23 Oregon State at Arizona State. Boston College is in South Bend against number 18 Notre Dame. Today at 3:30, number 1 Georgia goes to Lexington and Kentucky. Our coverage will begin at 2:30. Yeah, 2:30, Dwayne. You're not going to get that other hour. So 2:30, our coverage begins on Countdown to Kickoff right here on the Kool Hits Sports Network. Number 2, Ohio State goes to Maryland and College Park at 3:30. Miami is at number 9, Clemson, in an ACC showdown. Number 11, Penn State travels to Rutgers. It's number 24, North Carolina State in Louisville against the 6-4 Cards. 4 o'clock today, number 25, Cincinnati's at Temple. 5:30, Georgia Tech goes to number 13, North Carolina. At 7 o'clock tonight, number 5, Tennessee's at South Carolina. Ole Miss goes to Arkansas at 7:30 this evening. Number 22, Oklahoma State's at Oklahoma. Tonight at 8, number 7, USC. Number 16, UCLA in a big showdown there in the Pac-12. UCLA's 8-2, USC 9-1. Tonight at 9 p.m., UAB travels to Baton Rouge at number 6, LSU. Colorado's at number 17, Washington, and tonight at 10:30, it's number 10, Utah at number 12, Oregon. Again, another big Pac-12 showdown. One final in top 25 action this week. SMU falls to number 21, Tulane, 59-24. The Border Sporting Goods rant of the week when we continue after this on Let's Talk Sports on the Kool Hits Sports Network.
In addition to the Greenup location, Stelz Pharmacy's newest location is at 437 James Hanna Drive in South Shore, but has retained the name you know and love, McDonald Pharmacy, with the same great service you'll find in their Greenup location, with free delivery service and their convenient drive-thru. Get your vaccinations and allergy shots, and of course, great prescription service at Stelz Pharmacy in Greenup and McDonald Pharmacy, James Hanna Drive, South Shore.
Stoltz Pharmacy. I'm April Perry, the CEO of Kentucky Farmers Bank. On average, our employees have been with Kentucky Farmers Bank for over 10 years, and that is important to you and us. We want you to know who you are dealing with. Whether you are financing a new home, buying a car, or remodeling your kitchen, Kentucky Farmers Bank is the better bank for all your needs.
Kentucky Farmers Bank, the better bank for all your financial needs since 1931. Located in Ashland, Summit, and Catlettsburg. KentuckyFarmersBank.com. Member FDIC and equal housing lender.
Does your gas station or convenience store need a facelift? If so, call River City Builders at 473-4112 for your remedy. Big or small projects, River City's Builders is a company for all your needs. We have extensive experience in the petroleum industry, from routine gas dispenser and canopy maintenance to above-ground, underground tank and piping work to full-blown remodels and new builds. Call River City Builders at 473-4112 for all your petroleum needs. We'll cover your back and keep your customers pumping gas.
Tune in Monday night for the annual 16th Region Basketball Preview Show. Yes, this Monday night on Kool Hits 105.7 and Kool TV, you can watch and listen to area coaches and sportscasters and writers talk about the upcoming high school basketball season. It's the annual 16th Region High School Basketball Preview Show, Monday, November 21st, 6 p.m. on Kool Hits 105.7 and Kool TV. The weather is brought to you by Clark's Pump and Shops of the Tri-State. For low prices on snacks, soft drinks, and quality Marathon gasoline, visit the Clark's Pump and Shop nearest you. Clark's Pump and Shops of the Tri-State. Return, refresh, refuel.
Kool Hits weather.
We'll see sunshine today, a high near 40. Tonight, a few clouds from time to time, a low near 20. Mainly sunny once again on Sunday, a high of 34. Sunday night, clear, low of 21. And on Monday, look for mostly sunny skies, a high near 50.
Kool Hits 105.7.
Back on Let's Talk Sports on the Kool Hits Sports Network. Time for the Border Sporting Goods rant of the week. Border Sporting Goods US 60 in Cannonsburg. For all your hunting and fishing needs, as well as Liberty gun safes, see the good folks at Border Sporting Goods US 60 in Cannonsburg. Well, again, they're in that big Black Friday sale that's going on out of Border Sporting Goods. All G. Loomis, Abu Garcia rods and reels, Lou's rods and reels, all on sale. You've got kayaks going. That's it's a great Christmas present, by the way. If you've got an avid fisherman that likes to get out and do the kayaking side of things, they've got some great deals there. Also, all of their firearms, as well as those Liberty gun safes, on sale. I stopped down and saw Brad last week, and he kind of gave me. He said, I guess you made a good advertisement for us. They had sold like 4 gun safes since I said, where's my commission, my man? I even sold a reel while I was there too. It's like every time I go out there, I try to help out a little bit and sell. Brad was running. He looked like the empty-minded professor. He was running every direction. I mean, man, he had like sweat on his brow. He's working so hard. But I enjoy stopping in there. Some days we all just kind of hang out and then talk. And other days it's so hot, so big, and there's always people in there helping and stuff. And it's nice to be able just to jump in and help out. Border Sporting Goods is one of our great sponsors here with Kool Hits, and Brad's always been very supportive of my bass fishing team when I spent the time at Greenup and now over at Raceland. So, give back. That's what it's all about, and that's the rant of the week this week. It is Thanksgiving week, and it's sometimes we forget that. Thanksgiving has almost turned into, and I say this on the backside, Black Friday has turned into such a commercialized event, okay? The crazy thing of it is that Black Friday used to be a true event on the day after Thanksgiving. Now you have Black Friday sales in August. Like, how does that work? I mean, come on. Black Friday month. Okay, you're taking away from the true meaning of what Black Friday is, okay? You have those deals that You get out, you get to go, stand in the snow, stand in the rain, stand in the cold, trying to be one of the people to get in to buy some video game that's going to be $25 instead of $60. Or, I remember the days it was the DVD player for $19 or this piece of jewelry. And now everybody just does everything lazy to do it online, okay? It takes away from some of the ambiance. I'm going to say, I did go Black Friday shop with my wife one time, and it was so weird. We went to Walmart. We had nothing there that we were going to buy, okay? It wasn't like we were there for some big ticket item. She just wanted to go. So I was like, okay, I'll go and let's see what this is. So we get in the checkout line, and as soon as we get into the checkout line, I started my stopwatch. 59 minutes it took us to check out, by the way, okay? So we leave there. We go down to the mall. And we get to the mall. It's about 11:15. It's snowing outside. There's about 16 people in line at the back door there at the mall. So we get in line because there was one thing that we were trying to do there at GameStop. So midnight hits, the doors open, and a guy at the very front of the line dashes through the store straight to Charlie's Steakery. I was like, what the heck? You've been standing in line in the cold and snow for an hour, and you go to Charlie's Steakery. I mean, this guy must have been craving Charlie's Steakery or something. I don't know. Craziness of that. But, here's the thing. We get into the rush and everything going on, and we forget about what we have in front of that. And it's a holiday. And it's Thanksgiving. And it's time for us to give thanks. Not because of what we're going to go buy on Thanksgiving on an online sale or go out into the stores on Black Friday. It's about taking that time to just enjoy those that you have around you. Enjoy the time with your friends and your family. Taking care of those who don't have things to be given, that are misfortunate or not as fortunate as what you are. That's what Thanksgiving is all about. And as we continue through our journey in this crazy thing that we call society each and every week, we have to remember that it's our job to take care of each other. And as we go into this Thanksgiving week, take the time to maybe give something that you have that somebody else doesn't, and maybe make somebody's life a little bit brighter this week as we go into Thanksgiving. And trust me, when you pay it forward, it always comes back on the back end for something good for you. That's the Border Sporting Goods rant of the week. All right, we've got a busy week coming up this week. On Monday night, it's the 16th Region Basketball Preview Show. We have 15 different coaches that we have lined up that's either going to be live in studio or that we're going to have taped interviews with that will be on Kool Hits 105.7 beginning at 6 o'clock as well as on Kool TV. Now, the broadcast is going to run longer than 8 p.m. We're going to stay on Kool Hits 105.7 until 8 p.m. The remaining part of the product will go over onto Kool TV, the entire thing. But we'll get you up to date with everything that's going to be going on in high school basketball. Believe it or not, basketball is a week away. We tip off our first games after Thanksgiving on that Monday is when the traditional season starts. And we're looking at probably around 300 games that we're going to cover this year. That's not including postseason, by the way. So we are excited. We're ready to get going. We've still got some football to take care of, though. But then Tuesday night, we'll have live coverage on Kool TV of the Ashland Christmas Parade. That begins at 7 p.m. Again, go over to our YouTube page. It's just go in, type in Kool Hits. It'll take us to our YouTube page. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that notification. Anytime we put out new content, it'll send you a little update, and you can see what's out there. But everything that we've got going on, we got a lot of Christmas programs coming up with our local schools that we're going to be covering. So a lot of content coming from the Kool Hits Sports Network and Kool TV. So make sure to subscribe and hit that like button there, and we'll keep you up to date with that. So that's on Tuesday night. Then Friday night, semifinals at Raceland, 7:30 kickoff. We're going to have a big pregame show. We'll get you updated with all the times on that of what time we're going to be on with the pregame show. But a chance for the Rams to punch their ticket back to the state championship game down at Kroger Field on December the 2nd. That's a high noon kickoff. But it's going to be a busy week here. And, then, of course, basketball that week as well coming up on the backside of that. So hang on. It's about to be a very fun ride. Well, big thanks to all of our guests this morning from Ashland. It was Chad Tackett, Isaiah Ingram, Sawyer Edens, and Landon Himes. From Raceland, Mike Salmons, Logan Lundy, and Mason Likens. Always appreciative of all of our local coaches and players. I take the time to come in and let us just enjoy some of their success and spotlight them. That's why we do this. It's about spotlighting our students and our athletes and everything that they do, and getting a chance to see those kids outside of the helmets and the shoulder pads and the jerseys. It's what makes this job very fulfilling. So we greatly appreciate them, and especially Coach Tackett. They get home till 3:30 this morning, and those young men got out of bed and come in here. So best of luck to them as they head on the road next Friday night. They'll head to Louisville and play Christian Academy Louisville. Well, my producer, who only screwed up about 16,000 times today, but that's okay. He's not used to the microphones and moving stuff, but it's okay. I don't think he blocked any of the cameras today, so we'll let him off with that. But, Dwayne, have a good Thanksgiving, my friend, and enjoy the time. For everyone here at the Kool Hits Sports Network, guys, have a happy Thanksgiving. We'll talk to you next week right here on Let's Talk Sports on the Kool Hits Sports Network.
You've been listening to Let's